Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Costanza, a podcast about something. I am your host, Joe Costanza, not to be confused with George Costanza from Seinfeld. Also, not to be confused with Cartwright, because that was a fucking mix-up in one of the episodes. So, this is episode 8. Is it 8? Yeah, it's 8. How do we make it this far? I don't know, but some people just keep on watching it. So, today we are discussing two big movies that came out at the end of this month: Godzilla X Kong, shut up, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, and Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. I guess you could just say The Empire Strikes Back. So, um, so also real quick before I discuss this, I just want to talk about something that happened before we saw Godzilla. So, in every movie theater that I watch, they show trailers for upcoming movies. Like they showed Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, they showed the Furiosa movie, but for some reason they also showed Deadpool and Wolverine in a PG-13 movie. But they dubbed it over, and it sounded so weird. Like, uh, you know how in the trailer Deadpool's like pegging isn't new for me, but it is for Disney. Like that whole thing in the trailer, they dubbed it over with the R rating isn't new for me, and it sounded so incredibly weird. Jay, you remember seeing
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah, I remember
Yeah,
hearing that. Yeah,
yeah.
I was like,
It's
"What?"
it's so fucking weird. I was like, huh? It wasn't even like clever. Like it was like the R rating. It sounded like fucking AI. It was so weird. And then
It was.
right after that, Deadpool, like I think someone got like caught in like a storm or something, and Deadpool said, "Oh my fuck!" He said, "OMG!" Like he's like a teenager in a fucking high school drama. Like what the hell? Like, it sounds so fucking out of place and weird. Ugh. Anyways,
Why show the trailer in the PG-13 movie if you're gonna change
exactly.
it and stuff? Like, people need to know what they're getting into. Like, if you're watching that trailer and then you think it's gonna be a PG-13 movie, and he says, "Oh my fuck!" Like,
Yeah,
that's
and
their bad.
also keep in
Right.
mind there were kids in the theaters too. Who the fuck is gonna take their kid to see a fucking Deadpool film? Like it makes no sense. Like, hey mommy, I want to see that. Don't let the trailer deceive you. It's bad. It's bad for you, okay? Like, why even bother showing it? It's not gonna do shit. Just because it's Marvel does not mean it's for kids.
Not all
Please.
Marvel is for kids.
Well, it's in the Disney brand, so kids go and watch Marvel. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it just
Yeah.
fits right in like a glove. Honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, on to Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. I guess we'll go non-spoilers in the beginning because there are some people who haven't seen it yet. It came out yesterday, and we'll just go spoilers right after. There'll be time codes down below. So I guess we'll just do our like non-spoiler thoughts first. What do you guys think of it overall?
I thought it
Um.
was.
All right. You want me to go first? Or you first?
No, you can go first.
Uh, Okay. No. Actually, no, you go first. You go first. Yeah.
Fine, okay. I thought it was fine. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I like some of the other. I think Godzilla versus Kong better, but I did like this movie. Um, had a lot of good action scenes. I don't really know how to say it without spoiling it, but uh, as per usual, the monster scenes were kind of like the best part. The human storyline, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't the most interesting part like usual. But I've seen worse. So yeah, I'm kind of. You can go now.
I might add music over to this. Jay?
Yeah.
No, jump. You
Oh. So
I can't
did
hear him.
he
So if he's talking, I can't hear him.
did
Yeah.
he
No, I'm
mute
here. I'm here.
himself?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. All right. So Yeah, basically, like this is my 2 cents on it. Um, all right, so this is just something that I want to go address first. We can't compare the Toho version to Legendary Pictures version, at all. They're both completely different, separate entities. Let's just say. But I will say this with on Legendary Pictures, so don't really expect anything like I'm gonna try to be as spoiler free as possible, but try not to expect anything like -1 material or grade, -1 grade. So might want to like get into the moment of all right silliness and cheesiness and all that stuff. That kind of pretty much like the good old American adaptation of things. Like we see it all the time in media, like how they kind of like address their own nuances and whatnot and their gimmicks. They're just like the overall approach on things that can kind of like cement and get the audience like more familiar with what's going on, so and more relatable. So that's pretty much what I felt with New Empire. Um, yeah, it was to me it was pretty much like a mid movie. I would say probably like
Yeah.
just slightly above mid. It wasn't like box office crushing type of material. I really feel like it could have been a whole lot better in like certain areas. But aside from all the slapstick, the one liners, the cheesiness, um just just overall parade of like silliness that does happen with the human characters. I kind of already expect this. It was definitely like an over top in some areas that even some areas that didn't necessarily have to be over the top. So it's just kind of like falls flat on certain things. But
Yeah.
it does bring home a great message and overall a great battle at the very end. So I would say that like if you are willing to go stick around through the nonsense, like it's definitely a worthwhile buy. I would say I would say like take your friend, like, get a couple drinks with this one. You don't have to be like CrossFit or anything like that, but like just prepare just prepare that that you're gonna have like a fun brain in a sense brain dead a good old time. So, and if you just want to see like action packed stuff like monsters like fighting each other, it's definitely there. But like it does try in certain areas. I will say that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not all bad. Besides all the sugar coatedness, like it does bring like I said before, it does bring on like a very good solid family message. So I kind of felt like a Disney aspect with it. But it does like it does deliver at the very end, and it's definitely worth it on that. Action packed scenes are great. I think CGI was pretty interesting for the Kongs and for Godzilla itself. Like there's a lot of lights, lights and strobing effects with like a lot of scenes. Like just
Yeah.
so much light. So like you're gonna see what I mean with that.
Yeah.
But it's pretty, it was a good time watching my friend just opening night. So we enjoyed ourselves. Yeah, I did like the visual 3D effects with it. It does necessarily pop out and bring out the worlds to like a particular point where it's like okay, somewhat awe inspiring with the creativity and like the backdrop of everything. It was really cool.
Wait, you
And
saw it in
just like
3D?
huh?
You saw it in 3D?
Yeah, I saw it in real D 3D. Yeah.
Oh wow. So did we.
Yeah.
An accident.
It was definitely worth it with the 3D. Like it made things pop up a whole lot more. So
Yeah.
with that, I would say like the monsters are like the shining jewel of this film. I want to say like the human interaction activity, except for like one character that was pretty much like a standout role, and think I think that's the same thing with both the monster side and the human side. Like the small roles, that's all I'm gonna say, are pretty much the shining jewel factor of this film on both aspects. But like the fighting, if you wanted to see the fight scenes and like monsters ripping each other and all that stuff, it was great. So it was awesome with that aspect. But it's just like there were somewhat plot holes, there was somewhat just weirdness that kind of like deviates away from like what you really want to mainly see. So it's kind of like somewhat of an annoyance in a sense, but like if for some reason it just kind of like brings on like that great family entertainment ending that you probably would expect from like all American cinema. So a little cheesy, but like it was satisfying.
But I mean, with like a
Yeah,
Godzilla movie, you have to expect some cheesiness. I mean, it's
yeah,
it's not it's not. I mean, minus one was serious, but like you said, it's like a different kind of movie that they were going for. With the MonsterVerse, it's more like fun in a way.
hmm
Like
Yeah,
yeah,
and yeah, there was there was like some cheesiness and stuff, but
I feel like
it's kind of like the old Godzilla movies that like used to have like some of that cheesiness in there, but
I feel
also
like this
it
movie
was a
came out
fun time.
at the worst possible time because it came out right after Minus One not only came out, but won an Oscar. So people are gonna expect something big with this,
Sure.
and it
yeah.
just turns out to be like a popcorn flick or like a Marvel movie of some sort. It
Hmm.
kind of just doesn't really sit well with the audience, and that's why it has like a rough score on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't believe Rotten Tomatoes at all. Just saying, but
Mhm.
I think that like overall, I on on my Snapchat and Instagram, I gave it like a 6 out of 10. I think that's a little too harsh. I actually really enjoyed the movie, like probably a lot more than you two. I loved the action, especially in the third act, because like there's actually some heavy spoilers in this movie. I realized, but
Mm.
um,
Yeah, there
I
is.
I enjoyed the monster action. It was a lot of fun. The CGI really impressed me because, like, considering how shit some of the CGI is, Ant-Man and the Wasp, it just it really surprised me on how good Kong looked and all that. I gotta say, Scar King disappointed me a bit because I thought he was gonna be a little more intimidating, and he just kind of felt
It really wasn't.
like a like a jokey character, which
I
we'll
Yeah,
get
mean,
into.
I
yeah,
gotta say, I kind of knew he wasn't gonna be like Ghidorah level like of a threat. I feel like they just needed a villain for the movie, so they put him in there. I kind of knew like come on, it's just a big ape. Like how bad could it be?
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
yeah,
not like it's Ghidorah, like the three-headed like
It's just monkey. What's that gonna do?
yeah.
Like,
He was
one as well.
yeah. He was more just more of a bully. He wasn't really necessarily like a big threat. Like and like okay, like he's somewhat evil because such and such happens, but like he didn't really like. I really feel like that there was too much overhype with Scar King. I didn't really feel like he was all that cracked up to be because that was like somewhat of the downer that I had with this. It's like the main villain is somewhat of a joke, and the way how the final fight was with him was like okay, it was somewhat satisfying, I guess, but like he didn't really do a lot of stuff. Like he didn't really do it. Like nothing, nothing earth shattering, nothing Thanos level. He didn't really do a lot of stuff. Like he just had like an upper advantage, which I'm not going to spoil, and just over abused the hell out of it to try to get his way. He was just like
Yeah,
overall bully. It was just like that bully from fifth grade that like people kind of like hate. I wouldn't even say middle school. I wouldn't say middle school. He felt like a fifth grade bully that just had like an upper advantage, just like one big thing that can kind of put him above the rest. But other than that, I mean like he
yeah.
wasn't really much of a big threat. I mean like like King Kong can go up against him, without his advantages and just like thrash him. Godzilla
Yeah.
can go up against him and completely thrash him. Like
He's kind of
yeah,
a punk. Like
yeah, he's definitely yeah,
whenever he gets his ass kicked, he's like, I gotta use my advantage now
yeah.
because he knows he can't do it himself.
He
right.
can't. He can't. I feel like he was just in a sense it was almost like wasted potential. But I
Yeah.
kind of get that it was more of a heavy aspect of like introducing like a brand new monster and why the monster had to be like like set free and whatnot. But other than that, I mean like I just felt like the hype even in the movie with how he was like like over all of the other apes. it didn't really. Okay, he was just like a leader that didn't really necessarily deserve to be like a leader. Like I didn't feel no, I didn't get that connectivity and like that aspect of him like being like, okay, this big and bad dude that everyone has to go fear. Like I didn't really get that. All of that went away when I first saw him, like outside the shadows and outside of the hype. Like you
Yeah,
know what I mean? So it's kind of somewhat of a letdown in my sense. It just went away.
He
yeah,
had
and
like those
also,
skinny. He had those skinny arms. He wasn't like a big imposing figure like Kong. He
Dude,
just he
yeah,
just
right.
felt he just felt like some random ape that was on
Yeah,
the throne. Like
yeah,
right,
and
he
right.
not
like if
only
you
that,
look at Kong, he was like Kong's like much bigger, like looks more
yeah,
kingly, I would say.
Yeah,
he's
hell
definitely
yeah,
bigger.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. Like they there was even a scene where he went when he went up toe to toe like some UFC waiting. Like, dude, King Kong was completely stacked, way more than Scar King.
I
Dude, this
mean,
man was like,
they do kind of have like that thing like where like oh who should be like the rightful ruler, but like I feel like even if you're having like a villain who's like a king, he should still be more kingly, still like to make it believable that he's actually on the throne, you know,
mhm,
like make him something to be feared instead of just making him kind of a punk.
yeah, like and like all the Kongs that he tried to control, like didn't they didn't want to be there, bro. Like honestly, they didn't really want to be there. Like they just want to go do it because of the utilities and tools that he had. That's it. That's the only thing that as to why they were able to like obey him. Like other than that, I mean, like you see, the thing is with that, there was no real character development with Scar King. I didn't see anything. Like, why is he feared? Why is he there? Like, what's the
yeah,
purpose? What's his
He's
main purpose?
he's
Like,
feared because of the advantage he has, but that's pretty much it because
yeah,
he I don't know if we're gonna do like the spoiler
well,
section yet
you
or
know
not.
what?
So
I feel like we should go into spoilers because what Jake, I'm hearing myself.
yeah, I just fixed that.
All right. Yeah, I feel like we should go into spoilers right now because I feel like we've kind of talked about it long enough, and I want to just say the big spoiler of the movie. So we can go into spoilers.
okay,
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 okay.
all
Here's a
right,
big spoiler.
all right.
Somehow Mothra returned.
God damn it! You stole my line. I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
Yeah, Mothra's back. So that's uh, wow. I hate that I got it spoiled due to the toy leaks because they
Oh,
always
you
spoil
got
shit.
spoiled?
Yeah, 'cause,
Why?
like
Why did you look at the leaks?
I didn't fucking know it was gonna show the goddamn
You
characters. I
you're
didn't.
looking at. Oh my god. Okay. I'm just don't go looking for things about a movie that's about to come out. You're
I
gonna get
didn't
spoiled.
look for it. It was just on Instagram. I'm like, oh, okay, great. That's awesome. Fucking Mothra's in the movie. That's great. I didn't say shit. You're lucky I didn't tell you. You
Uh, well,
like I
that's good. But
yeah, like come on.
I don't know why, but when Mothra appeared, for some reason I wasn't all that surprised. I don't know why. I'm like,
Yeah.
she did die. She did get eviscerated, but I
It's
think
because they kind of hinted at that. If it came out of
the
nowhere, it would have been more surprising.
yeah,
But now that they're like they mentioned Mothra, it's like, oh yeah, okay, so she's gonna
and
return now.
also because I know a bit about like in the older movies, there's usually like more than one Mothra. There's like always like an extra egg or something that was hatched,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's like a second Mothra appears. So it was kind of something like that, I assumed. So it's probably not the same Mothra. It's like a different one.
Yeah. I can I just say something real quick? Godzilla fucking suplexed Kong in the movie. He did a fucking wrestling move on Kong. That was
yo,
the
I seen
funniest
that.
scene.
Yo, I seen that move. I was like, what? Where the hell did this come from?
I was laughing so hard. I was like, "Oh my god, he did
Yeah,
a fucking wrestling move."
yeah. So
You
yeah. So okay. So I just want to say one thing about that. Okay, all right. See, what I notice about like these legendary picture and monster movies, like they make these monsters a little too human. You know what I mean? Like I just feel that because it's like, where is he doing with all these wrestling moves? Where did any of this come from? It didn't feel natural at all. I mean, I
Uh,
guess I mean the setup probably called for it, but like it just popped out of nowhere because that was buzzing in my mind. That's a great point, Joe. That was buzzing in my mind like all the way until the end of the film. Like, what? How the hell did he know how to do this? And like, it's just, and even with that, I mean, like, even with the Kongs, I mean, like, how they were talking with each other, it almost felt like they wanted to say something in a human language so badly, dog. Like,
I
okay, like, oh no,
I was
he's here, he's
oh
here.
no, bro.
This is where they are. This is where they are. Like, okay, all right.
I kind of like
I was expecting them to put like subtitles or something like Kong language.
You know, yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that because it's like, okay, all right, this is their language, this that they're speaking. So kind of like make it like because it doesn't take away the naturality of how they talk and like how they speak. So you can know like, okay, there is an actual language that they're doing instead of like kind of like interpreting like human emotion or like I mean they're gonna interpret human emotions. Okay, I guess whatever, but like kind of like doing things where it's like, all right, it kind of felt like it was like a human in like on the monster suit. The way like how certain interactions and actions happened. Like I just it felt like a little off. It just did. Like
I
especially
kind of
especially
like
that suit
part
piece.
where
Yeah.
like the Kongs were talking to each other. Like there was no dialogue for like 30 minutes in one scene where like it was just Kong and I forget his name. I'm just gonna call him Diddy Kong. They
Yeah,
were like
that's just how I call him.
Yeah.
by the way, Diddy
Diddy
Kong
Kong,
was an asshole in that movie. Like in the beginning, like when
he was.
Kong first showed up, like it was like
He's trying to lure him
I
into
had a
traps and stuff.
yeah, like he felt like one of those like mysterious like he kind of felt like one of those two-faced characters. Like you don't know what he's gonna do. Like is he gonna like be on your side or is he not? Like it just kind of feels like that character. But then
One
I guess he kind of grew a spine and is like, you know what? I'll hang with him.
was that monkey the Scar King's son?
I don't know. It
It,
might.
it was it was never explained. It was never
It
explained.
was never explained, but
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably a thing or something.
I feel like it was just kind of like a homage to the Son of Kong.
It
Like
was.
also, why the fuck don't they call him King Kong yet? It makes no sense because like they always refer to him as like Kong and stuff and like Godzilla and Kong, Godzilla versus Kong. Like just call him King Kong already. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
know.
mean you might as well. Yeah, like that
But
makes sense. I feel like he earned that even with the last film.
And
Like he
like the
definitely earned that.
yeah,
he was
if he does,
already king of Skull Island, so I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you could have
right.
just
honestly,
called him King Kong from the beginning.
in the
Yeah,
next movie, if they don't call him King Kong in the next movie after he's basically the new ruler of the apes, I'm gonna question it because like, is it copyright? Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, yeah. That's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah.
And about the suplex move, I'm gonna tell you, that's not the weirdest move Godzilla has ever done. I
it
don't know
was
if
the
you know
glide
this.
kick.
Yeah, that in the older movies, he did some pretty wacky things, and that's
Godzilla's always been goofy.
he did like one time he used his atomic breath to fly. That's
Oh my god,
he blew
is
the
that how?
atomic breath. He blew the atomic breath so hard he started to pick up off the ground and
Oh, I remember that.
and then like chase after. He was flying backwards, chasing this flying what was his name, like Hedera or something, like this.
This Hedera.
It was some sort of like
The fuck?
or Hedora or something. I don't know. It was like
Orientation. It's not a monster. Hedera. Where's Homa at? Like, what the fuck?
I think that was the name. I don't know. It was like a pollution
Yeah,
monster or something. I don't know. It's like a big pollution monster, and he was chasing them.
Big pollution monster. That's the name. The monster that
That's
caused.
literally what it was. Search it up. That's literally what he is.
Hold
It was
on,
it was supposed to be a message about pollution. That's literally what the movie was about.
Yeah, my thing about it too is just like I feel like things were like a little bit too convenient. Like even with like the traps that Kong set up when we're fighting the apes, like that scene, like him and Diddy Kong were like going back to like the beginning of Hello Earth, like at least where they were at like at the beginning of the film, like the traps and the setups. I feel like that was like way too sudden, and even with like the power glove, I'm gonna call it power glove, whatever. The power glove,
it is.
the power glove that he got when he was dealing with frostbite. That was just it was just way too sudden, man. Like way too like convenient. Like okay, I mean like the suit, the bio augmented suit that we're trying to build for Kong. Like all they had was a glove. They didn't have any other specified part for like any other body part, like any other tech for any other body part. It was just only for that hand. So I was like, uh, I mean, it does help him in this situation, but how did you know that he needed this arm? Like it's just a lot of things that just weren't fleshed out. A lot of stuff were not fleshed out in this film. Like
Yeah.
despite some great stuff that it does like overexamplify, I just feel like it was way too convenient with certain things, and a lot of stuff was just not explained. Like the backstory of Scar King, I still wanted to know a little more about this guy, and like that wasn't even like fully said. What I felt like about with Diddy Kong, I felt like he was just going off of fear as to why like he kind of like wanted to betray King Kong,
That
but
was it. Yeah.
yeah, but I guess he just manned up and realized, okay, this guy is like the real deal. Maybe I can follow in his footsteps. I can learn a thing or two, and like probably like be my own Kong or my
That is a
own
good
like
point. Yeah.
yeah
I
yeah
noticed he was only loyal to him after he saw how he kicked the ass of the Scar King. He was like,
right
"Damn, this guy's good."
right yeah. So yeah, so that's what it was with me with that. Like we all know the human characters at this point. If you didn't watch the last film, how goofy they can be. They're pretty goofy. I mean, like you got a guy who's like completely like the black dude. I forgot their names, but the black dude who was like completely like aware of
Oh, he was super annoying.
supernatural things and like this
Yeah,
conspiracy theorist.
he
And
was
then
in
you got
Godzilla versus Kong. Yeah,
he was. I mean, like he can be fun at times, but other times it's like okay, all right, like you're like overemphasizing your role in a
Like
sense.
I
they were
feel like
trying too hard with him.
Yeah,
they were trying.
right, yeah, they were definitely trying too hard
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
all.
Especially with I feel like they were trying to pander to like our generation, Gen Z, like by our me and Jake, but
Yo.
it just feels like
Don't lump me in there with them.
you are, whether you like it or not, you are. It's it's like factual. You are Gen Z, but like I feel like I think he just said like I forget what the fuck he said, but I think he also said something about like Discord or something like, oh yeah, I have my Discord servers like
Yep.
Ghidorah and Ghidorah Simp 69 or whatever the fuck. He's
What?
like,
No.
yeah,
Dude, seriously, dude. Well, I'm
yeah.
like, dude, what am I hearing right now?
Yeah, I'm like as a guy who has a Discord server and a podcast, respectfully, fuck you. Like it's
Yeah.
just,
Okay. Okay. There's a difference between a joke character and a character that is a joke. Okay. There's
yeah,
a difference between
Yeah.
them.
exactly. Dude.
It felt like every word that came out of his mouth, they were trying to make it funny. Even a joke character doesn't. Not every single word that comes out of their mouth is something hilarious. It's
Yeah.
like it's a few things here and there that are funny.
Like,
They
he
try to
feels
make a
more
joke
like
out of
Love and
everything.
Thunder character than a MonsterVerse character.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny how the series started. Godzilla 2014 was a very serious movie. It focused more on the humans. It actually had a pretty good story and characters. And then it kind of slowly became completely different.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah,
Like
and it
I,
didn't
I
really.
remember seeing the 2014 Godzilla and being like, "Wow, this was really good in terms of the story," and like it was pretty dark. And then I feel like ever since Godzilla King of the Monsters, it was a little bit more lighthearted, I would say. And then yeah, it kind of just became what it is now.
Yeah. I agree. Like
I mean,
the
even
yeah.
in Kong Skull Island, that was a little bit more lighthearted, I'd say, but it was still like
It
dark
was
in
somewhat
some
serious.
aspects.
Yeah.
Like the characters are at real risk of dying, and a lot of them did die, and it it was genuinely terrifying them being out in like this jungle with a bunch of giant things trying to kill them. That was pretty effective in that movie, but I feel like now they kind of just like, oh, Godzilla destroying a city, okay, like just a normal Tuesday. It just doesn't have as much of an impact now.
Right. Right.
It's so yeah, and I feel like they were listening a little too hard to the fans, like for a good reason too, because I was also complaining about this. In Godzilla 2014 and even in King of the Monsters, they cut away from the fights so many times, and in this movie,
Oh God.
I actually looked at the fight. I kind of looked closely. There were hardly any cutaways, if any. Like it was like really crazy how how much it focused um on the monsters rather than the humans. I mean, it showed some running away and all that, and I also love how you can see how fucking huge they are because they're like crashing through buildings and pyramids and stuff. I'm like, this is like they're fucking huge. They're causing like a wreck. Like even Superman's like, holy shit, guys, like chill.
It's kind of funny when you look at it from their perspective. They seem normal size, and everything else just seems so small.
Yeah,
I,
that's what
I
I love
noticed how
about the fights.
I noticed that like when you see from the human's perspective, you see like it's ginormous, but then like you see from the monster's perspective, it's like we're average size. You guys are just tiny.
Yeah,
Right.
and Godzilla and Kong keep like growing and stuff, and it's just it's really crazy. And I also love the scene where Mothra actually does come back and Godzilla sees it because a while back when I think it was like before Godzilla versus Kong came out, I made a joke where Godzilla was stepping on Kong and then it was gonna be like a save Mothra type of scene. It was literally that fucking moment come to life. It was I was like because I thought it was gonna be like this in versus Kong. Like I kind of joked about it because like in the Hong Kong fight, it was like Godzilla stepped on Kong and they both roared at each other. It kind of felt more like it in this way because Kong's like, "Wait, stop! I'm trying to be on your side and all that." And Godzilla's about to kill him, and then Mothra just shows up. Like that, I'm like, "That's Safe Mothra! Come to life! Holy shit!"
You're letting them kill Mothra.
Why did you say that name? Oh my gosh, I was like, oh my god, that's actually real. And then I also kind of liked how it showed Godzilla evolving because I didn't think, like, considering how they didn't show like the backstory of Scar King and Diddy Kong, I was hoping they would show how Godzilla got the pink breath instead of the blue one. I appreciate that they did that because that kind of added to the interest of the movie because like Godzilla it's very clear Kong is like the main character, but Godzilla also has like his own shit he's doing, and I like how they did it for him. So
Yeah.
Godzilla did feel like a side character. I am gonna say that.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is weird because it should be
It should have been called Kong featuring Godzilla.
Yo, for real. I was just thinking that. I was literally just thinking that.
Planet
Yeah.
of the Apes featuring Godzilla because it's pretty much Planet of the Apes.
But what I
Yeah.
did appreciate is uh after Godzilla versus Kong, some people had the idea that Godzilla was more of like a villain or kind of anti-hero kind of thing. But from how they portrayed him in the 2014 Godzilla and King of the Monsters, he does go out of his way to help people. And I think people kind of forgot about that, and I'm happy that they kind of reinstituted that Godzilla was fighting some of those other creatures because they were just attacking humans randomly. You see that Godzilla actually is a good guy in that movie, that he's not just doing it for his own self-interest. He is actually like genuinely wanting to help like Kong does, except he has like his own territory and stuff, and he's just pretty territorial, I would say.
Yeah. And I really there's also no end credits scene, which I thought there was. Like, is that just not like gonna be a thing for the MonsterVerse? Because I think they had one in Skull Island and I think King of the Monsters, but they had none in Godzilla versus Kong or New Empire. Like, like even Ghostbusters had one. I'm surprised this didn't. It's weird. Because you think there would be, because like it might have set up like another kaiju, because there's definitely going to be another one after this, even if the reviews were shit. Like they're gonna make another one, but I don't really know what's next for the MonsterVerse. Like where do you go? Like, this is what I thought with versus Kong. Like where do you go with after this? Like is it just going to be more Kong and Godzilla kicking ass? Because I'll be down for a definite. It's like John Wick. Like I'll definitely see it. Even if you milk it to death, I'll see it. But where do you go from here? It seems very weird.
No. I feel like they're gonna continue with the King Kong like ruling the apes now. So they're probably gonna like introduce like. I really feel like Hollow Earth hasn't really been fully explored yet. So they're probably gonna have like some new stuff that's gonna like pop up. And I kind of got that hint with the sea monster that came in, even though like that thing was like killed off. But like there's just so much like surprise like that Hollow Earth can bring forth. So I'm actually interested in what happens next with that.
Yeah. Also, the monster that Godzilla killed in the opening scene, was that the one of the monsters at the end of King of the Monsters?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was a big spider thing, I think.
Didn't they kill them off in a comic or something? Didn't they say that?
No, I don't think so.
Because you told me that Godzilla like killed all of them in like.
Oh, he didn't kill all of them. I said there were a few monsters that he would fight in a way to discipline them, like saying, "Hey, like do what I say." But he never fought that spider thing, and he didn't kill all of them.
I guess that's kind of like a hint towards that. Like he's trying to discipline them, but then it just got too far. It's like, no, okay, you're fucking dead. Okay, you're a spider.
Here's the thing: is that like with Godzilla, he disciplines the monsters, but humans as well. When humans run out of line, he didn't hesitate to attack them, and I think that's kind of what got people thinking that he was more of a villain. But really, he's just trying to like get everyone to get along, like monsters and the humans as well. And when they didn't, he destroys them. So, like, just like if humans were to get out of line, he'll completely destroy all of them. And just like when that monster got out of line, he's like, I'm gonna kill you too. So,
I also don't know which fight I like better, because the Hong Kong fight I still think is one of the best fights. Is my favorite fight in the MonsterVerse, like the Godzilla versus Kong fight. But I also loved that Hollow Earth / Rio de Janeiro final battle. That was like very unique and fun.
Yes, it was. Yes. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree with that. Like it was basically like that grand finale, destroy all monsters melee type of feel. Oh my god, I remember that game.
well, yeah.
That's exactly how I felt. With a little bit, I wouldn't say rampage craziness, but like, dude, a lot of buildings got fucking smashed.
It did feel a little like Rampage.
Yeah,
because I saw the movie and I'm like, yeah, I could totally see the Rampage vibes from this, like George and all that.
Yo, yeah. So
Well,
I wish I would say one more thing. I wish Mothra would actually be part of that battle. That would have been like the icing on the cake with that final.
Yeah, she didn't really do anything.
She didn't, dude. She didn't. It kind of broke my heart. It was like, bro, like wasted potential. Like right there.
She was kind of just there to escort that. What was her name? I forgot.
Gia, fucking
deaf girl or mute girl.
deaf girl. That's what the script says. Deaf girl. It's just wow. The way you said it too.
Crazy.
I didn't
Deaf
know her
girl.
name.
Is she actually mute in real life? Like
Yeah.
the actress?
Yeah, she
Oh,
is.
oh, okay, okay. No, that's cool. That's cool. I see that's like the one of the new things that's popping up now with like movies and TV shows. Like they actually have like mute characters. Like
Wait,
Yeah, because
was
I think
she?
Echo
Wait, was
was
she deaf
deaf
or
as
was she
well.
just mute?
she was
No,
mute.
she was.
Was she?
I thought.
I think she was both.
I wouldn't say deaf. I would say like she was mute. She can only communicate with sign language.
I don't know.
I did not think she was like deaf.
No, she was because in Godzilla versus Kong, she couldn't hear anything.
Hmm.
Like I remember, yeah, because like it was like an
Yeah,
opening
that's
scene with like Kong and Skull Island, and the girl was there, and she like you could hear from her point of view, she couldn't hear Kong.
you could only like hear like vibrations,
Yeah, so she
like
was deaf.
Beethoven, like Beethoven.
Ah,
Yeah, that is kind of cool that they have deaf actresses for deaf characters because like the girl from Eternals and also Echo as well. So that's kind of cool. I like that.
yeah. And that I think that that black kid from Last of Us, the TV show.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it, but yeah, that is pretty cool.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay, I don't want to say nothing. Then. It's all right. Yeah, sure, you should. Yo, you missing out.
No, I definitely. I'm watching The Boys and Game of Thrones right now, but yeah, I'll definitely get to it.
Okay, cool. All right, well, we patched it up with New Empire. Overall, I give it like slightly above mid. I'll give it that score.
I'd give it like a
It's
7.5. I think it was a good movie, but it was dumb fun.
Yeah,
I,
that's
I,
your
I would
first score. Yeah.
And if I had
yeah
to do a ranking of the MonsterVerse movies, I would put. I'd probably put. I'd definitely put Versus Kong over it. That's still my favorite. Maybe Skull Island over this one. I think it's a little better than King of the Monsters in 2014, but not by much. They're all good though.
yeah. I give it 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'll give it a benefit of that 7 out of 10. That's as good as it's probably gonna get. Like that's where it ranks. But that, like the what pushes it is definitely those fights. Those fights were pretty epic. So yeah.
So
Well, if we're done with the new Empire, can we talk about the Frozen Empire?
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Jay, do you want to stay for this, even though you haven't seen it, or you can head off if you want to?
Is there gonna be spoilers? Because I do plan to watch the film.
Yeah, there's
I'm
gonna be
gonna,
spoilers.
yeah, there's gonna be spoilers.
Is there gonna be spoilers? Okay, all right. Well, it's all right. I appreciate you having me on board with this one. Like it's always
Yeah,
great
no
to like
problem.
be part of this podcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll just catch this then Frozen Empire synopsis or like review. Well, once I do watch the film, I do plan to go watch it with my boy possibly tomorrow. I'll see if he's on board. I have to go get back with him, but hopefully it's a blast. So
Yeah.
All
All right. See you later, dude. It was fun.
all
Thank
right,
you.
all right, yeah, you're welcome, guys. All right.
Nice dude. Yeah. So Frozen Empire time. I feel like we should go non-spoilers first because just out of respect for like anybody who hasn't seen it yet, we should do that, and then we'll just go spoilers. If that's cool with you.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I feel like if they clicked on this video, they kind of know, but
Yeah, but I mean, and also it's been out for a while, but still. Jake, how about we start with you? What'd you think of Frozen Empire?
uh, it was pretty decent. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't as good as the last movie. What was it called? It was Afterlife. Yeah, it wasn't as good as that one or the first one, definitely, because that's that's really
The deleted pod topic for episode 8 was going to be reviewing all the Ghostbusters before Frozen Empire, but shit got in the way. So I'm just gonna give like a brief synopsis of all that. The first movie I think is a perfect movie. Like it's a classic. It brings in Like it has iconic characters, very funny moments, especially in the ending with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I really love the movie. Every single time I watch it, I have a blast. Two, I didn't really like all that much. I didn't hate it, but I was just like, it's a little too cheesy. Like there's a fine line between fun cheesy and cheesy cheesy. Like
Yeah.
that was cheesy. It was like, okay, Vigo could have done a lot more. I feel like
Yeah.
we're all a little too silly, but there's a reason why. I mean, it's more than just the fact that two was underwhelming that they didn't make a third movie. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I could see why they took a break from this. And Afterlife was a good. Actually, before that, it was 2016, which is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen.
We don't talk about that.
And neither does the studio because that's not canon. It's a reboot. But,
Yeah, only the first two and obviously
yeah,
Afterlife are canon.
I loved Afterlife. Apparently, a lot of people hate it, BHL. But there's yeah, I kind of liked
Who'd you
it.
say? Who'd you say
BHL.
hated it?
BHL
Oh,
Hudson, like he's a YouTuber I watch. He doesn't even hate it. It's just like a meme that he hates it, but he doesn't. I loved it. I loved the movie. It was very fun. The
I thought it was
music
really
was all
good.
great.
I thought it was really good. I mean, I don't see any problem with Afterlife.
Yeah, I think the old characters were great. Like seeing them again.
Seeing them again
Gozer
was like
good.
really great. Yeah, I like how they brought back Gozer, and I was kind of wondering like, was Ghostbusters 2 even canon anymore? And apparently, the creators did say it was, and they do have like a little.
Why would it not be canon?
And they just didn't mention it in that other one, but they did kind of mention it in this one. They have like one little thing that they mention.
Yeah.
Nothing major, but they do mention that movie.
Yeah, and I also love in Afterlife, they brought back like they did like a CGI Ghost of Harold Ramis. That's where people were kind of like turned off with the movie because they're like, okay, that was a little too much. But I loved it. I thought it was sweet.
It was sweet. Like, you want all the original Ghostbusters back. You're honoring that guy. I mean, he's dead. What do you want them to do?
Yeah, I mean, I hate AI as much as as much as other people do, but I feel like in terms of that story as a whole, I thought it was good. Like I loved how they did that, and it was like it was a tribute to Harold Ramis. So like, why the hell not? You know? And it was like one last hurrah for all four original Ghostbusters because that like it was physically impossible to do so. So I liked how they did that. But Frozen Empire, I went in thinking it wasn't going to be as good as Afterlife or One, and I was right because this movie I liked it. I just want to say I really liked it, but I was kind of a little bit underwhelmed with it, especially in the third act, which I'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, I thought the characters were all fun. I liked the ones a lot, like especially Paul Rudd, and I just like Finn Wolfhard because of Stranger Things, but I also love the old cast. Like Ernie Hudson and Dan Aykroyd had a lot of shit to do in this movie. Like they were almost like main characters in the movie, which is great. Bill Murray didn't show up like hardly at all. Like he was like at like the top of the poster, and he was only in it for like 5 minutes, which is
I know.
It was very weird, and
he was barely in the movie, and
yeah,
I was kind of upset about that. He said like one funny line, and
yeah, I also really liked Janine in that movie. She was great. She didn't really have that much to do in the movie, but it was cool seeing her.
To be honest, none of the old characters really had much to do besides how do I forget his name?
Ray Stantz.
Yeah.
And Winston.
Yeah, Winston. He had more to do than Venkman, but
yeah.
I was a little because Venkman was my favorite character in the first one. I mean, I think he's everybody's favorite.
Like if you think
Bill
Ghostbusters,
Murray.
You think Venkman. Yeah, it's Bill fucking Murray. Come on. I mean Ray, Egon, and even Winston were all great, but like there's a reason why there were two Venkmans in Stranger Things. Because like Venkman's the most popular one by far. and I really love how now, like I said this back in Afterlife, but I love how it came full circle for Finn Wolfhard because in Stranger Things he dressed up as a Ghostbuster. Now he officially is a Ghostbuster.
Now he is one.
Yeah, my boy's grown up, but yeah.
In some
also,
way, he kind of became in Afterlife. He became the new Venkman in some way, and he wanted to be Venkman in the show.
Not really. Yeah, actually, yeah, he kind of was.
Because if you think about it, the new Ray was that other guy.
Podcast.
Yeah, him. Because he had that same thing on his head that Ray would always wear in the first Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he also acted like Ray as
goggles.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Phoebe, she was the new Egon. She pretty much acted just like him. So yeah.
And Lucky was Winston. Because like she was just like, I love Winston in the first movie, but he was always like kind of like the guy that was there.
Yeah, he didn't have much to do. He did kind of just show up at the end.
Yeah,
I mean not at the end, but
well, he was. I think he showed up in like 40 minutes in, and I'm like, wait, who's this guy? And then he just became an official member. I'm like, oh, okay.
He was in the final battle, so that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough to make him a core member. He was in the final battle.
Yeah, I mean he fought Gozer, so yeah, that's enough.
Did yeah. Also, we'll get to this later, but I'm disappointed about some of the other cast members not returning. But I also think Slimer is not a spoiler because he's in the trailer, but I think Slimer was very underused. Like he was just kind of he really served no purpose at all.
Seriously though, he shouldn't have even been in the movie.
He was just like, okay, I love fan service. I think it's like especially if it's done very well, like Spider-Man No Way Home, it's golden. It's awesome. But in terms of like how you do it, that's the most important thing. For No Way Home, if Toby and Andrew were just there and didn't contribute anything to the story or Tom's character, it would have been significantly less good compared to how No Way Home actually was. And for Slimer, like I'm acting like he's Bill Murray, but I feel like adding Slimer to the movie was just to sell toys or popcorn buckets. Like that's basically it.
Pretty much. I mean, he was kind of iconic in the first one because he was like was he the first ghost that they caught? Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, I think he was. And also, he just has like an iconic look because it's like a green blob. So like it's, I thought he was in Afterlife. I thought he was like that. The one guy they caught in Afterlife, the one that shot the one that shot bullets. I thought that was like a cousin of Slimer, but it wasn't him. So.
Oh, it wasn't him.
Yeah. But yeah, so. I thought the movie overall was good. I enjoyed it, but they went way too overboard with the humor. They tried way too hard with the humor, especially Paul, because Paul Rudd's. I love Paul Rudd. I think he's a good actor.
You could talk about that line in the trailer.
Yeah, that line in the trailer where he said like Bustin' makes me feel good and all that. He fucking said the entire fucking first like lyrics of the original Ghostbusters song. Like he said, if there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you gonna call? If there's something weird and it don't look good, who are you gonna call? And let me tell you something else, Bustin' makes me feel good. That entire time I fucking like slouched even further down the chair. Like every single time he spoke, I'm like, oh my god, this is so bad.
I was embarrassed to be in the theater. And I will admit, even in the beginning, they said some lines that they acted like was cool. I'm like, no, it wasn't. Yeah, like, he even said, wow, that was a really cool line. I'm like, no, it was a really cheesy line. Don't ever do it again. Don't ever do it again.
It was bad. My god. And it just that ghost got busted or whatever the fuck he said. Like,
yeah, I know.
God, I was like, oh god, it was so bad. Like, okay, the humor in the first movie is like actually funny. Like, back off, man. I'm a scientist. Or like, you're like, mother pus bucket. Like, that's funny. They're trying way, way too hard to be funny in here.
Ray's gone bye-bye, Egon.
When someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes! That's funny. Even in Afterlife, it was funny.
The callback is like, Ray, come on, Ray.
Yeah, that was funny in Afterlife. And here, it feels like they're phoning it in. You know, it's like, yeah, we need humor and stuff. And like we said about that, the black guy from Godzilla versus Kong, it feels like it's like that's all Paul Rudd's character is. I mean, he tried to be serious at one point, but it was like
A couple of times, but
yeah, but it just kind of felt like, I mean, he's the same character in every movie. Like he's basically fucking Ant-Man, but
it's
still,
just
like
Ant-Man every movie.
I mean, God, like, even Ryan Reynolds, like in the fucking worst movie he's been in, I think was Red Notice, the one I've seen, not like actually it's Origins Wolverine, but still, like even in that movie, he was still funny, and his dialogue, I guess humor's subjective, but still, like at least he was like somewhat funny. And for Paul Rudd in Ghostbusters, I'm like really? This is the guy? Like this is the guy in the front of the poster? Because like if you look at the poster for Frozen Empire, he's like dead fucking center. Like it's not Phoebe, it's not Bill Murray, it's Paul Rudd. I'm like, really? That's your leader?
Because he's more famous because he was in a Marvel movie, so that's why they wanted to put him on the front of the poster, let people know, hey, Paul Rudd's in this movie, watch it.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, I'm trashing on this movie a lot. I enjoyed it overall. I thought it was fun. It had its good moments, but there were some stuff that was holding it back from being like great. I just think it's good, and Ghostbusters fans, I would recommend it to them, but it might be a hit or miss for some people. Because my mom, who is very easy to please, by the way, in terms of movies, like when mom says a movie's bad or okay, you kind of fucked up, you know, because I feel like even for like a mid-tier Marvel movie like Iron Man 2, like she loved that movie. I'm like, okay, she's kind of easy to, and she liked Red Notice as well. Like, I feel like she would be very easy to please.
I went to my wood.
But I feel like yeah, she's very easy to please. But for this movie, she laughed a couple times, which I was very surprised. She said it was okay. I'm like, fuck, they kind of fucked up with this, but I think it was good. I enjoyed it, but I feel like
can we get into like the
fans?
Can we get into the spoiler parts now?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to wrap it up. I'd probably give this movie like a 7 out of 10. It was fun. I liked it.
Yeah, it was okay. Again, I wasn't expecting it to be as good as Afterlife because sequels typically usually aren't as good as the first one. There are a lot of sequels out there though that do break the rules and are better than the original.
Yeah,
but
I do
overall, this one was I liked it better than Ghostbusters 2, but
yeah. And I gotta say, I really like how they went with like a new idea, because they easily could have brought back Vigo, but they decided, you know what, let's just make a different villain instead of bringing back Vigo or for the third time. Like they came up with something new, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, got a new villain. Yeah. Okay, I will talk about the villain. He was barely in the movie, really, and just in the end.
I mean,
I wouldn't say the end. I would say like the
It was like Gozer, like she didn't appear till the third act. So
yeah, third act. But I mean, he did appear longer than Gozer did. But
I think so.
It was a long point in the film before you even knew what his name was. That's probably why I didn't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name now. I think it's. I know it's not the Death Chill. I think that's what Ray called him, but I don't remember what his actual name is. Like
let's just call him some shit. Let's call him Devil Elsa.
Devil Elsa.
Pretty much what he is. He looks like the devil, talks like the devil, but has powers like Elsa. That's what he is.
The cold never bothered me anyway.
I hate this.
Fucking Devil Elsa. You could come up with something. Like, why not like Jack Frost or some shit? Like
I don't know. It's the first thing that came to my head. I don't know.
Devil Elsa.
The first thing that came to my head. I don't know. Jack Frost would have been better though. But
Jack Frost would have been so. He's not even a girl. Devil Elsa's not even a girl; it's a dude. Like, come on. Anyways,
It's like Gozer. It's whatever he wants to be.
well, yeah, true. Spoilers for Frozen Empire. Look off if you haven't seen it. Just go to the after party. Time goes down below. I honestly thought somebody was gonna die in this film.
Yeah.
Because there's way too many characters, and Kumail Nanjiani I thought was gonna bite the dust in this film, like Firemaster. I thought he was gonna bite the dust, but it turns out he didn't.
I mean, the inclusion of the Fire Master, I mean, I suppose it makes sense that there are some people out there. I mean, it's about ghosts. Ghostbusters was never only about ghosts. They did talk about stuff like psychic abilities. Even though we never saw it, they did mention stuff like that in like the other movies. So it was about time we find someone with like pyrokinesis or something. Because that's what that movie's about. Like science fiction, like powers and stuff like that.
It could have been Jumping the Shark, but it's not like fucking time travel or aliens in a fucking adventure movie like Indiana Jones. It was just like it was just like, okay, like this could definitely exist in this world.
Because it makes sense in that world. It makes sense in that world because they talk about like those ghosts are like from other dimensions and stuff like that. They talk about like the other side and stuff. So since it's more science fiction rather than like, I mean, there's like a spiritual element to it because they are dealing with ghosts, but they kind of make it like, oh, Gozer was like a demon from like a god from like that these Mayans worshipped or something. So not all of them were like undead things. They were more like ghosts or like gods or demons from other dimensions and stuff. So it makes it more believable that you can have someone with pyrokinesis, but they did make a big joke out of it. And he just kind of seemed useless, and I mean, he did manage to like restrain whatever his name was, Devil Elsa, for like temporarily.
Fucking Devil Elsa.
He didn't really do much in the film. He like messed around with like a candle or something.
Yeah, it was kind of like I kind of thought he was gonna be the one that killed the character. They all kind of did something to kill the character because the older Ghostbusters they pushed down that lever. Phoebe had like that fucking the proton pack thing, like the proton pack ultra or whatever the fuck. It was and the siblings, the fucking parents and Finn Wolfhard helped her out, and the Firemaster did all that shit. But yeah, like, it was just kind of like they all had their part, but I feel like it was a little underwhelming.
But one thing I appreciate that they tried was showing a different aspect to the ghosts, that not all of them were evil. Some of them were just trying to pass on to the afterlife. Like, I mean, they tried to show that. I mean, I don't know if they... to me, it didn't really...
Yeah, that whole ghost storyline...
They didn't really perform it all that well, but I see what they were trying to do. Failed, but tried.
Yeah, I feel like that was like the least interesting part of the film, because like that whole ghost storyline, it wasn't in the trailers at all. It wasn't like hinted at. I was just like, wait, what? I thought she was playing a board game with Egon. But then I realized, oh wait, no, he went to, like, he disappeared at the end. But I was like, what?
I mean, I kind of knew she was gonna betray her. I'm like, when she was looking at like that ghost container thing, I'm like, and she let her in. I'm like, she's gonna let all the ghosts out, right? It's clear she's gonna betray you in some way.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't really expect the whole like needing her to let the ice demon guy out. I didn't expect that. I thought he was just gonna get out by himself.
I didn't expect that. I was like, oh, okay.
When she was saying like, is she the one? I thought like a host, like they were gonna possess her like the dogs did in that the first Ghostbusters. the Zool and stuff like that, and the
Zool,
Keymaster.
yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like that, and then through her he could physically manifest, like how Dana and the other guy literally physically turned into those ghost dog things and started
Yeah,
like
where
hopping
the
around.
fuck are those characters?
Oh, I
That's
don't
what I was
know.
mentioning. Yeah, because like that's what I mentioned about like how all the legacy characters have not shown up. Where the fuck are those two? Get them while they're still here. You got Sigourney Weaver back for one cameo at the end of Afterlife, and then you never used her in this. Like, she was like one of the most important parts about the first two movies. What the fuck? I understand like the actual Ghostbusters are important because they're like front and center, but get Sigourney Weaver. She's still kicking. Come on. And like fucking Rick Moranis, I think is coming back into acting. Like I think like he's gonna be in like a Honey I Shrunk the Kids sequel or some shit, which he was also in the original. But I like just get him back in. Come on, it's about damn time.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna do it in this movie, at least do it in the third movie. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Are they gonna make a third movie?
I'm pretty sure they're going to because it kind of left it open for a sequel, kind of. Because it was
Kind
like,
of.
okay, I could see this having like another movie, and also Peck showed
Yeah.
up, Dickless.
I like how they actually called him Dickless. Like some guy in the background was like, "Come on, Dickless."
I knew someone was gonna say that. Either that or like this man has no dick. Like I
But
knew it was gonna happen.
when he reunited with Venkman, I wanted it to be more than just, "Hey, I know you." Like they kind of just had it for like a couple seconds, them interact, and
Yeah,
then it
but
was done.
they like what are you gonna do with that? You know, like it kind of just seems like yeah, okay, that's probably all we're gonna get. You know, like what are they? It wasn't like a fucking like it wasn't like a classic rivalry that like needed to come back or something. It was just kind of like yeah, he's a
But
dick.
even then, Peck felt so unenthusiastic in this role, like compared to like the first one where he was screaming like "They caused the explosion." This one is just like, "Oh, you caused half the city to be destroyed. That's really bad." Like he didn't seem as enthusiastic.
I think it's just because he's getting old. You know, like I feel like that's it. And
It
also,
could be, but
yeah,
it could be. It's
I
just it
did
did feel a little dry to me, though.
I
I'd
did
say.
love Bill Murray and like that whole. I thought that Bill Murray scene where he was like testing out Kumail Nanjiani. I thought that was gonna be like just like for comedy relief, and it was for that. But I feel like it was also just for like hinting at like the Fire Master shit that they did.
Yeah, it reminds me of the test he did in the first Ghostbusters when he was
That
giving the
that's
guy
kind of what it
electric
was. Yeah,
shocks.
yeah. Like he that
Oh,
that got me good.
in there he actually said, "I'm testing the ability of negative reinforcement on ESP abilities," and it worked
Oh
on that.
yeah,
It
he
worked
did.
on that
Yeah,
guy.
that was awesome. Like, yeah, that was a good callback as well. Like this movie has like 50% callbacks, and Afterlife has like 100. You know, like
Down to the main villain returning, Gozer. Like,
yeah, somehow goes returned. But I really enjoyed the Death Chill in here, or Devil Elsa. But
yeah, Death
like
Chill is
I
better.
thought he was.
Death Chill.
I kind of enjoyed the final battle a little bit, like especially when the old Ghostbusters were fighting alongside the new ones. Like I'm like, yeah, this was pretty good. And then I'm like, it's a little anticlimactic, but it was still fun. You know, like I like how Bill Murray just did like a one-liner, like "tall, dark, and horny, 12 o'clock" and all that. I'm like that. Yeah, classic Bill Murray. But after that, I'm just it kind of feels like he was just there. You know, like yeah, I
That
want to
was like
be.
the only Bill Murray line I would say, like kind of like the only Bill Murray-esque line that he
I
said
feel
in the
like he's
whole
kind of
film.
done with this franchise because he wasn't in
Yeah,
Afterlife that much. It feels like he's kind of like the Harrison Ford of Ghostbusters because like he never really wanted to do another movie, while Winston and Ray both wanted to. He was just kind of like,
and
all right, whatever,
you can
I'll just
tell
do it.
because he didn't seem as enthusiastic uh, in this one, but Ray and Winston did, and
Yeah,
they had much bigger roles as well.
it just I'm I don't know. Maybe he's just kind of sick of it, but I definitely enjoyed um the fact that they played the song like they waited till the end to play the original Ghostbusters song, but I appreciate that they did it a little bit before the credits. Because it kind of felt like the ending of the first movie with like the people chanting Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters, and like the theme song kicked on. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's when you should do it, not like at the very end where people are just waiting for like, is it gonna come on? Is it gonna come on? Nope. Like I like that. I like that part.
Yeah, and I forgot. They said that he had a reason for like wanting to destroy humanity. Like he had an alliance with like a king or something. That Death Show guy. They said he had like an alliance with a king who betrayed him, and he was like fuck all of humanity because of that.
Fuck humanity. Let it go.
Yeah, he should let it go. But he's like, one guy betrayed me. All of you fuckers need to die. you know what would have been better? It would have been better if he wanted to kill everyone, so everyone could be ghosts, so he could control everyone and rule over them. That would make more sense rather than one guy was mean to me, so let me kill everyone.
One guy's mean to me. I want to kill humanity now, not just the men, but the women and the children too.
They're like animals, and I'll slaughter them like animals.
I'll freeze them like animals. What if that was Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze?
Do you know what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
You know what killed the Ghostbusters? I did.
He breaks into like that Ghostbusters place. He's like, allow me to break the ice.
All right, everyone, chill.
You need to chill out.
Tall, dark, and ornery, 12 o'clock. He's just
just have Arnold Schwarzenegger voice him. I'm doing that out of this ball.
Get me on the, put that cookie down. No, he's just in a cookie. Put it down.
No, he's yelling at the Stay Marshmallow Man. Put the cookie down now. Let me out. Come on, do it now. Free me.
Come on, kill me. I'm here. Come on.
No, he's like, free me. Come on.
Come on, free me. I'm here. Come on. Do it. God, it's a fucking stupid podcast.
We went from talking about Ghostbusters to making Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It fucking it devolved into what the fuck? It's not even midnight. It's midnight in like an hour. What the fuck's wrong with us? What was I gonna say? Also, Melmoth didn't say her iconic "Ghostbusters, what do you want?" line. Like, I was disappointed in that. I'm like, oh, she's gonna say it in the movie. Nope. I'm like, damn it, man.
Yeah. They didn't say it much. I mean, I don't even know what her purpose in the movie was. Just like Venkman, she was kind of just there.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really know if there's anything else we could say about it. I liked it. It was fun movie.
It was. I like how they're like that they made like Ghostbusting part of like a family thing that they do. Like they're just going down the street, like, oh, this is a family fun thing, you know, catching a ghost and potentially blowing up the city on accident with our proton packs. But yeah, it was a fun movie. I didn't expect much from it because, again, like what I say about sequels, and I did like hear like okay reviews for it, so yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, because I kind of want to wrap this up because it's like I think we have like an hour. Yeah, I enjoyed it. If you're a fan of Ghostbusters, watch this. I'm hoping for another sequel. So we're going to go to the after party now, and we're going to look at the comments that we got in the last episode. The one before that, I think it was the Oscars episode. No,
Yeah.
this is the Oscars one. The Super Bowl trailers. I got 31 views.
You should have something on your video like saying the after party starts in 15 minutes. So 15 minutes ahead of when we do this, you can like
you. Fuck you.
No, come on.
No, I know where you got that from. I'm not doing that. Fuck you.
Come on, man.
It's all right. Fuck you.
Well, you're mad too.
I know. So yeah, Porcupine Podcast Clips says Oscars were pretty great this year, minus most of the jokes. I agree. Hashtag we need sex back in film. Hashtag more BS. More BS. I get that. Hashtag hold on. Hashtag Venom eats that bussy. RDJ is the GOAT. That's an inside joke from another podcast. I didn't think Bussy would come in here. And Daniel says, another really great and enjoyable episode. Keep up the Venom-esque work. Thank you, but that sounds like an insult. It sounds like a fucking insult.
Venom-esque work.
Venom-esque work.
You saying our content's like Venom?
The fact that Venom 3 is called The Last Dance is such a Venom move. I think they know by now Venom is so stupid and dumb, has become a meme at this point. They just don't care about giving it a good title, which I can respect. I agree on that. No, I don't think it's going to be good, but the fact that the title is so zinnia and stupid, it really works for this Venomverse, but it'll probably be really bad, though. I think the Oscars this year were some of the best we've had in a really long time in terms of awards. Helps the 2020 has been pretty great when it comes to the Oscar season. Yes, the jokes were really bad. The John Cena moment was such a peacemaker. What a joke. And it was... Oh, yeah, the John Cena... I forgot to mention that. John Cena, apparently, one of the skits was he came out nude presenting the award.
Really?
Yeah, he came out fucking nude. It was weird. I forgot to mention that in that episode, but yeah, it was really weird.
Like nude dude or just
yeah, like full butt ass naked. Like the only thing that was covering his dick was the award. So it's yeah, where the hell is I? Overall, I thought it was pretty great. Ryan Gosling's performance of Ken was tons of fun, but the Emily Blunt Ryan Gosling bit was super fun, and the awards of themselves were pretty great. Were pretty perfect. Besides, Across the Spider-Verse getting snubbed for Best Animated Feature, still pissed about that. I can't complain with any of the nominees and winners, except maybe Ryan Gosling as Ken. Nolan finally winning Best Director, Oppenheimer winning Best Picture, Killing winning Best Actor, and the highlight of the night for me was Robert Downey Jr. getting his award. So cool to see the journey of this man going from struggling up and coming actor to drug problems leading to prison, for him making a comeback with Tropic Thunder and Iron Man and the whole MCU, to now him winning Oscar. His life needs to be made into a movie one day. Yes, a lot of the jokes were corny and bad. We don't go for the Oscars for Jimmy Kimmel stand-up. At least I don't. So the fact that he wasn't funny didn't really bother me all that much. I'm here to celebrate film, and that's what I got from this year's Oscars. Hashtag Venom XXL. Hashtag Tom Magic Hardy. Oh, God. Hashtag Venom Last Bussy. Hashtag Among the Bussy. Hashtag RDJ's King. Hashtag We Are Bussy. Wow. Yeah, interesting comments there, but yeah, thank you guys for the last episode. I really appreciate it. Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at Josie8356. On Discord, I have a server. I will put it in the description. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. So, Jake, do you want to say your final thoughts?
I mean, I don't really have any.
We can't find him anywhere. So I don't know where the fuck he is, but I will see you guys in the episode. Have a good one, guys.
See ya.